I recently finished a book, which culminated in the following scene. A school administrator stands at the pulpit to give a graduation speech. In emotion-choked voice, he reads the words from Henry Ward Beecher. "He is the greatest, whose strength carries up the most hearts." This is among the closing pages of R.J. Palacios' children's novel, Wonder. I want to equate Beecher's phrase of a carried-up heart to a happy person. To increase happiness, that I propose reading for pleasure. Reading for pleasure is a key ingredient to happiness, as it decreases stress, increases educational success, and increases empathy. To set a backdrop, I want to cite Pew Research's results from a March 2019 released survey that showed that only 56% of Americans feel optimistic about the country's future. The increase of peace, learning, and empathy that comes with choosing to read is not only a technique by which to cope during these challenging times, but a technique by which to thrive during these challenging times. At the University of Sussex, a study found that reading for pleasure was the most effective way to overcome stress. After just 6 minutes of reading, their subjects experienced a 68% decrease in muscle tension. Picking up a book and losing the cares of reality is a proven provider of peace, poise, and happiness. Now let's examine how reading for pleasure can increase educational success. Dr. Alice Sullivan of the University of London found that reading for pleasure was important for children's cognitive development between ages 10 and 16, and more important than their parents' level of education. Along the avenue of academia, reading for pleasure increases happiness. Reading for pleasure decreases stress, it increases educational success, and now we will see how it also increases empathy. For this, I want to revert back to R.J. Palacios' novel, Wonder. 10-year-old Augie Pullman was not like other kids. His craniofacial disorder had burdened him with exclusion and unease from his peers all his young life, and Augie was despised by many and befriended by a few. Those who despised him saw his disfigured outward appearance. Those who welcomed him saw his heart. These were they with empathy. I found myself opening the front cover of Wonder and expecting to find a cute children's story about finding friends in middle school. By the moment I closed the back cover, I was not the same person who dove into those pages days previously. I was a little more willing to look beyond the outward appearance and into the heart. The development of my personal empathy after reading Palacios' Wonder is no isolated circumstance in reading for pleasure. The Annual Review of Psychology published a 2011 study including the analysis of brain scans after participants had read about an individual's experience. Participants' brains displayed stimulation within the same neurological regions as when they go through that experience themselves. University of Toronto Emeritus Professor Keith Oatley remarked that reading fiction moves us emotionally and can prompt changes of selfhood. A change of selfhood is precisely what I experienced after finishing Wonder. From now on, I have a better understanding of what it is like to be in someone else's shoes. Empathy welcomes others. Thus, friendship and love are developed through empathy. Academic writer Mark Vernon once stated that love and friendship both call us into and become constitutive of our happiness. With increasing educational success, increasing empathy, and decreasing stress, our happiness increases. Some may argue that reading for pleasure is isolating and socially inhibiting. These might support such an argument and warn of the dangers of isolation by citing Brigham Young University professor Julianne Holt-Lundstadt's report that a lack of social connection can intensify health risks at an equal level to smoking 15 cigarettes per day. There are credence to these concerns. A reader can certainly pore over all the feel-good, empathy-developing books he or she wants and remain engrossed in a fictional world, never surfacing to care for the reality lying before them. Benefits of seeking out of the best books are apparent. They improve empathy, they decrease stress, and they increase educational success. Now you may be wondering, what can I do to start? Try setting a timer for just 30 minutes a day at first. Most importantly, try reading what you want to read. Souls need healing and hearts need lifting. Reading for pleasure decreases stress, it increases educational success, and it increases empathy. Let your time in the best books carry up your heart, and then turn and carry up your neighbor's. By so doing, we will each be happier.